So just this past week, Tucker Carlson appeared on the Redacted podcast, and Clayton Morris, who was giving out the interview to Tucker Carlson, asked him a question that is really setting the internet on fire with rumors and conspiracies and all kinds of things. But he asked him, he goes, "Hey, Tucker, what stories have you come across that what are those stories that bother you most? What are those stories that most scare you?" And Tucker's response was chilling to the very core. You're going to want to hold on for this. Now, as a quick reminder, please make sure you guys are still subscribed to the channel. Click that sub button right here. And when you do, make sure you go all the way to the top and click that all bell button. Otherwise, they're not going to notify you. And if you're new, welcome. Please sub the channel. You're not going to want to miss it. And hit that like button. Also, as a quick reminder, get to restrictedrepublic.com. I created this website because of all the crap that is going on in society. Look, the mainstream media isn't who they say they are anymore. You're not getting real information. That is why their information is 100% free, because it's not really free. They're giving you propaganda and brainwashing you. Come get unbrainwashed and be a part of something special that is really standing for truth. We've got exclusive content on there. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. That's less than a cup of coffee. All right, so let's dive into this interview that was conducted by Redacted with Tucker Carlson, because it's in this interview that Clayton Morris asks Tucker Carlson a very powerful question. And that question was, what news story bothers you the most? And here's what he had to say.
The second thing that bothers me is the UFO story. And the more you dig into that and talk to people with actual knowledge of it, again, that's another story where there are some, fanciful ideas floating around that are just, there's no evidence that they're true. But if you talk to people who, have actual knowledge of it that they gathered themselves, there are parts of that story that I do not understand at all that are really, really, really dark. It's so dark that I, haven't told my wife about it. I mean, I haven't verified any of this, but this is not just stuff that I read on the internet. I know you all are very, very grounded in that story, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff there that's just like, man, I'm not even sure what that means. There's a spiritual component there that I don't fully understand. So yes, that story bothers me. And I think, last thing I'll say, that one of the reasons that we've had all these disclosures and all these, 10 whistleblowers at this point, and it hasn't really become front page news. Part of it's suppression. Parts of the government don't want you to know about it, but part of it is the public can't deal with it. It's too far out. The implications are too profound. And I understand that, because I've heard things where I'm just like, oh, man.
So the news story that scares Tucker Carlson the most is the news stories about UFOs. And he makes a lot of good points in there. He says, hey, look, part of the public cannot deal with this. They're not ready to deal with it. It's very dark. It's very morbid. It's very scary, to think that there is, or potentially could be, another life form. Now, I've got my whole side view on that, and I'll share more as I get into that. But he says, look, there's something obviously going on, and there's some obvious censorship regarding this UFO plot and program. He goes, but it's scary thinking about it. In fact, later in that interview, and I can't share this part of it, but I'm just going to paraphrase what he said. And he says that all the prior presidents were schooled and given information on what's going on with UFOs. And probably the reason they haven't shared it with the public is because it will scare people. It could literally scare a lot of people, especially something about UFOs. And when you really boil it down, there is a lot more, really going on with that in our U.S. government. So I completely understand why that's one of his deepest warnings. But what's interesting is shortly thereafter, Tucker Carlson conducted that interview and revealed his biggest news story fear. Our Congress did something kind of in response to that, or not in response to that, but they did something huge. And I want to show you this. Take a look here. This is on comicbook.com. But it says Congress orders National Archives to collect UFO documents with a brand new bill. So keep those documents. And here's kind of a kicker on this document hoarding that they're going to do. The documents must then be made public within 25 years of their creation, unless a president decides that they have to be kept secret due to national security concerns. So immediately following that interview, coincident or not, I don't know. I'll let you be the deciding factor on that. Congress makes their move and says, hey, we're going to gather all these UFO documents in the National Archives and we're going to put them all together, but you're not allowed to see them for about 25 years. I can guarantee you that will probably be extended by presidents. But it's just interesting, the timing of everything. Here comes Tucker Carlson giving his real heartfelt story, and bang, let's have Congress act. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of stuff still spilling out regarding UFOs, and here's just some of the latest, right? This is on thehill.com. UFO whistleblower doubles down on claims. This is a nightmare for me. Now, this is one of the main whistleblowers, by the way, and here's what it states. He's a former intelligence officer and UFO whistleblower, David Grush. He said he's been living a nightmare since making his testimony public over the summer. Since I went public, certainly this has been a nightmare for me, he said in an interview on Tuesday on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas Tonight. I mean, I was an intelligence officer for 14 years behind the curtain, if you will, and he never wanted to go public, but he did because he wanted to get the truth to the American people, much like we do over at Restricted Republic. And why I do what I do. I do what I do because I want to bring you the truth and I want to get to the bottom of it. And see, the truth of the matter is Tucker Carlson's a lot like me, a lot like many of you. It doesn't matter how scary the information is. I think we need to have the information. If there are UFOs out there, what are they, who are they, and what are they after? I think these are things we should know. And speaking of that, David Grush, the whistleblower, is now also stating he's about to reveal more information regarding that. Here it is. UFO whistleblower says he'll soon reveal more information. And this is coming from David Grush, the former intelligence official. And he's also got some people backing up that claim. Former Navy admiral backs up UFO whistleblower claims of encounters with non-human intelligence. So now he's got some people backing up what he says. Now, just as a quick reminder, here's some of the stuff that has come out in the past year regarding UFOs, just to the public. Here's Bro Bible. Whistleblower claims seamless metallic UFO was kept inside Area 51. X-rays could not penetrate it. We also have futurism.com. We're deeply skeptical, but a government whistleblower claims the U.S. has recovered non-human spacecraft, and not just spacecraft. Here we also have metro.co.uk. The U.S. has found at least 10 alien bodies in crashed UFO sites, says whistleblower. And New York Post, DNA from non-human alien corpses is from unknown species, analysts claim. And they're talking about these that went viral all over the internet. They're claiming, I believe it's like 20 or 30% unknown species regarding that. I would think if it was alien, it would be a lot more than 20 to 30%, but hey, that's my 2 cents on the matter. But with that, you guys know I already believe that UFO do exist. I think they are out there. There's just too much information that has surfaced regarding them. Now, what and who they are is the question in debate, I think. And I obviously take a more biblical stance. I believe that they're fallen angels, Nephilim, because the Bible talks about it. The Book of Enoch talks about it. And we have all these histories and fables all throughout time that bring it up. I think it's more of an interdimensional thing as well. But I think they're Nephilim and fallen angels. And that's who I think the UFO are. That's my sense. And I've done a lot of videos here on that regarding Nephilim and UFOs. I did a lot more in my earlier days, and I want to encourage you guys, go through some of that information. But anyhow, I love all of you, and just wanted to share that with you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.